Synesthesia is a rather rare experience where the sensory world gets merged. Mirror touch and mirror pain synesthesia are two forms of synesthesia where vision leads to tactile experiences.
So for example, if I was to do this, then somebody with mirror touch might start to feel touch on their own cheek, on their face.
A lot of people really can't imagine that it's a real thing. It's like I can't imagine not having it. It's almost like an extra sense, I guess.
Our work with mirror touch and mirror pain synesthesia started off trying to establish the genuineness of the experience. We found evidence to confirm the authenticity, and actually through working with our synesthetes, we've established that their experience runs so much deeper than just touch.
Part of mirror touch synesthesia or general synesthesia is that you have a very strong empathy. You feel their pain or you feel their emotions.
People with mirror touch are more accurate at reading other people's emotional expressions. So that suggested that something to do with the fact that they experience those emotions themselves as well. So by representing your experience as my own, I can better understand what you're going through.
When we all perceive touch or pain to other people, we recruit similar parts of our brain as when we experience that state ourselves.
That tells us that there is some sort of unconscious representation of your experiences in my brain.
Mirror pain and mirror touch synesthesia use that same network that we're all using, but they overactivate it. We've also found that they show differences in the right temporoparietal junction. This part of the brain is involved in a number of socio-cognitive processes, including your ability to distinguish between the self and other, and to control self and other representations.
It is more than just a visual thing, it's very much a full body immersive experience.
We then decided to say, okay, let's use that as a window to explore the social mind more broadly. Could we train the self-other switch in non-synesthetes? And could we then make a non-synesthete become more empathic? And sure enough, a year or so ago, my collaborators and I showed exactly that. In our research currently, we're now exploring that further. To what extent can we use this type of training, not just in typical adults, which is what we did beforehand, but also in groups that show reduced empathy?
It can teach us so much about social interaction and empathy and things like this in everybody, which I think is so fundamental to understanding human behaviour.
We think people may perceive the world in a very similar way to us. That's our norm, our go-to. But it can be incredibly different.
For a long time, most of my life, I didn't realise that my experiences were so different to other people's. It was a real eye-opener when I found an explanation for the way I feel about things. I personally think it's something that contributes to my enjoyment of arts and culture and travel because I am able to be inside things more.